Hello and welcome to the 7th Empires tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to do cooler cuts so that way your blocks can be slanted, you can have nice little window boxes like this, and you can have nice little pillars that kind of come outward. And recessed door lines, along with decal work on some buildings. This will allow you to create some custom buildings that look pretty cool and allow for basically more detail to be put into the game. So for this, we're going to need to start off with the block tool. You're going to want to come over here. You just want to create a new block. We don't need it to be that tall. We just need it to be this tall. We're basically just going to recreate this, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So you're going to want to look at it from the side view. So side XZ, and you're going to want to come over here to this tool. This is called the clipping tool. With the clipping tool, it allows you to cut off parts of the block and have diagonal show, and it'll allow more fine detailing. So for this, we're going to go click here, and drag it down here. And you'll notice that this side is white, this side is red. The red side is the side that gets cut. The white side is the side that gets saved. So if you click on the clipping tool again, you'll notice that both sides are white. And if I click it again, you'll notice that now it's traded sides. So if you click it again, we're now back to the part that we want, and then all you do is you click enter, and you'll notice now that it's cut. With that, we can go ahead and we can just duplicate this block. We'll duplicate it right there, and there we go. Now we have the bases of our pillars. However, we now need the giant pillar, but that's really simple. It's just an extra block. So we're just going to do that. See? Just another block. I'm going to save this real quick as 7. So it's just another block, and then go ahead, we'll just move that behind it. So now we want to have a doorway, and you'll notice the doorway doesn't include this block right here. It's specifically cut out to make it look recessed and make it look like a doorway is actually enterable. So for this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a block between these two pillars. We're going to raise it up, and about right there should be fine. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create a block within this block. Sorry, there we go. So right there, we'll bring it down, because the doorway doesn't need to be that tall. And here you go. Well, again, we'll have it next to it as a comparison, so that way we know how much we're cutting. So there we go. So that's a really tall door. We don't need that. And we'll bring it down about, yeah, that looks good. So with that selected, hit Control and click on the bigger block. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to raise that up, but keeping it between the two pillars. So actually, I'm going to show you, don't do this, but if you're clicking on the smaller block, so let me get it real quick, and you go ahead and click Carve, you'll notice that it messes the displacements up, and we do not want that. Carve is a very specific tool that needs to be used under certain circumstances, and if you use it while it's next to a displacement or any other means, it is going to mess up your map. You do not use Carve unless it is not anywhere close to any other thing on the map. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to undo that by Control Z, and there we go. Then we'll just drag it up like that, and then you'll notice that if we do Carve now, let me get the thing selected. There's the whole thing, don't want that. Nothing got messed up, and if I press the delete key, now we have a nice little block carved in this. I'm going to go ahead, bring it down, and now you'll notice that we have a doorway. So what we're going to want to do then is we're going to want to fill this block in between the two. Just bring it down. And then just look for a door texture. Well, I went with this one. Then you're going to want to click Fit. So that way it looks kind of natural. And with that, we're going to want to raise this up so that way it's in the displacement. We don't want them to see underneath. There we go. then we're going to want to recess it just a little bit, so we're just going to drag it back just a bit. So that way it feels like you're walking into a doorway. Now with that, we want a little, nice little trimming, so that way it's not just concrete, because concrete can look pretty boring. So with that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to create another piece of trim. Just raise that up there. Actually, we'll go all the way to the top. Click this, get a new texture, we'll go with concrete, and we'll pick a nice white concrete. You'll notice that it looks kind of trimmed. We'll shift drag it over, and there we go. Now we have our outlines like on this one. Now we want kind of a window box, because we could put, like, you know, the skybox trees, so we'll just do this. From a distance, that kind of looks like it's a planted window box, you know, with plants and flowers growing out of it. So from a distance, that's a nice little bit of detail right there. So we want to do that here, but we need to make a window box. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to create a window box there. You notice it's the white concrete again. We're going to have to change that, but not right now. So there we go. So we want it to jut out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and just change that. Then we want a new texture for it, so we're going to type in wood. And we're going to find a wood texture. Let's go with a wood floor, because this one's always worked out for me. And you don't want, if you see this happening right here, you don't want that. You don't want them to be overlapping at all, so you're going to want to just close it up a bit. If they overlap, it can cause issues with Hammer when compiling, and that's generally just bad. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to lower this just a bit. There we go. Then we're going to do a cut. So again, you want to be looking at it from a side view. You generally want the cut to come up here, and what we want to save is this part, not this part. We want this part to be cut off. So we're going to go ahead, click on that to change it, and then click enter, and then there we go. We have a nice little window box. There we go. Now we can put our trees in there, and you'll notice it's slanted. You can do a bunch of different cuts to make it look kind of jagged. For example, let me just duplicate this real quick. I'll show you. Sorry if this is kind of a tangent, but say I want, I want to save that. Oh, but I want that to look a little bit jagged, I don't want it to be just looking like a solid cut. So you can continually cut through it. And there we go. So there we go. That's how you could create like a jagged angle for like debris or something. So there we go. Then I'm just going to drag this window over here because it's just a world block. It's not anything special at all. So there's nothing special there. But we do want to click fit to size. So then with that, we want to get a roof on this because every building needs a roof. Otherwise, stuff will fall through. We don't want that. Our residents demand a roof. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to cut this. Nice size roof. We'll cut it like that. That kind of looks like solar panels, but if you type in roof, there are some roof textures we can use, and we'll use a nice vibrant one to make it look kind of different. There we go. Now we have a nice little roof. So we have a door, a roof, the window box, the window, and then we have this nice little logo right here. So what is that? That's called a decal. A decal can go onto a block, so it fits into the first part of the block. There we go. Just want to size it up so that way it's not touching the door. There we go. You'll notice that it's kind of glitching in and out, but for a decal, it actually shows in front of the main texture, but it's actually within the main block. So it's two blocks overlapping, but the decal shows instead of the texture. So we'll just type in decal, and then you can look at all these different decals here. There's a bunch. We don't really care about that. We'll use a nice new Bernodi one. And that didn't work. I apologize. We'll just go with the old one. So we'll do this one. Oop. Why didn't that... Oh, there it is, sorry. Oh, the decal's stuck on the outside. Apologies about that. There we go. That's what it's for. So there's different decals. Some of them only show up on one side. Some of them only show up on another side. So you'll have to play around with it a bit. Like, for example, that last one was only showing up on this side. And so we weren't getting an accurate picture. So there we go. Notice if you click off of it, it's not glitching in and out because it is, again, a decal. So a decal, there you go. We're going to want to click fit. There, and you'll notice it gets cut off, so we'll just click fit, and there we go. It's nice and centered on there. So that kind of concludes this. Again, there's a couple other things that you can do. I'll show you vertexing real quick. This one's a little bit more complicated. I wouldn't do this at first. I just stick to cutting. There we go. I'll make this concrete. And we'll just go with this one. So vertexing in this case is this tool right here. It allows you to mess around with the vertexes and create very awkward shapes. So if you like drag this and click off of it, you'll notice that the shape has now contoured to be just like the vertex. So you can play around with the edges and everything. Let's say I want this to jut out like here. Like this, we'll create a random shape. You'll notice it's now shaped very awkwardly. That's what vertexing does. It's kind of finicky to use, so I'd use it sparingly. The other methods where you just cut and everything, sometimes if you want to have a specific cut, so say we'll make another block, and sometimes you want like a specific cut, so you'll do this, you want like that. And you only want like a quarter of it to have that, so we'll just move this block into here and click carve, and you'll notice that it's cut out like that. If you want to get more and more fine cuts, again, you can, as I covered in a previous video, make the grid smaller and smaller. It allows you to get more fine cuts, so we'll do like that. There we go. We now have a more fine cut than if it was just bigger. You'll notice we wouldn't have been able to do that one. Ooh, actually, yeah, we would have. My bad. So we'll do another cut. That's that. There we go. And if we increase the thing, you'll notice that's now off the grid. So you'll want to keep it small. And you'll notice that if you go to texture this, you can choose the individual cut texture. So it's not combined with this. That happens if you have a bunch of small cuts. So again, you can change this, just this texture, and we'll make it that. Sorry, that was a bad one. See, now that's orange, that's not. And that's basically the gist of vertexing and cutting. Along with basic carving, again, don't use Carve if you don't have to. It does create errors in maps, but if you're going to do it, make sure it's raised way off the ground and not touching anything. Otherwise, it will create an error in your map and your map may not load. Again, I highly advise you not to do it, but if you want to, it's an option. So again, here is some basic nice little house fronts that you can make. Again, you can go wild with different designs based on what I've shown you. And that's basically it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for the next one. In the next one, I'll be going over how to make commander maps with the refineries. So yeah, thanks for watching.